So I'm going to share my screen. So first of all, actually what happened during the last lecture. So Shivani, I have told actually about the presence of student. Actually very less student are presenting in the class. Because of that I'm getting some demotivation, and I also having some busy schedule during my weekdays, so that's why I'm trying to take the class on weekends only. Okay, so now you can see in the last class we have encountered one error. We are not properly loaded our application with that static files. The image files we have uploaded in one folder, that is image. And I already introduced you about how to add static files and static folder, and how to add template part. And I know I already explain you uh, for what we are using the template portion, and for what we are using the static file portion. So template we are actually using in Django to representing, to showing the text part of any web application to the front end. And static part we are actually using for showing the image and video part to the front end of your web application. So our error is that we need to use here static file, static only, not static files. So this is the error, and now you are able to understand that we need to put here load static instead of load static files. So if you put load static, then this will work properly. And how this will work properly, I will show you by running our application. So let me run this application. But before that, we need to go to our project. And what is the name of the project? The name of the project, we have first project. Okay. So this is our name of the project, and here we need to write the command to run our application. And the command is python manage.py. You already know about that run server. Okay. So this command will run our application, and you can see I am able to run my application. And let me open the application. And now here you can see I am able to show the image file on the front end. Okay. And Loveleen Kaur joined one more. Thank you guys. Only four students there in the class, and remaining are sleeping in their home. Okay, that's good. So this image file actually I have given in this portion, and now it we are able to generate this image file here. Okay, though this part I have completed, and now let me go to the n- next portion. Next portion is that in this you can also add one CSS file here, and you can also add CSS by using the link method in the HTML file. And you can then you can add the CSS functionality in your web page, and this will work like you are creating a static application or any web application front end. And this is actually coming to your all the CSS functionality will generated by your web application which you have implemented here. So this part we have completed. Actually, Django level 1 we have completed. Now I am going toward the Django level 2. So as part of Django level 2, we will learn models. Okay. So so first of all, we will learn models and how to create a model, these things. But before that, I need to explain you what is model. Okay. So please understand this. So an essential part of any website, what is the ability to accept information from a user and input it into a database. And all the websites in the world, they are doing the same thing. You are going to any website and you are entering some information, and this the the website is accept that information from a user and input it into database. So basically the database which is in the behind backend, and then you retrieve the information from a database, the required information, and use it to generate content for the user. Okay. So this thing actually you need to understand how website is working. So we use models to incorporate our database into a Django project. So Django, this we are using for full stack development of any project. And when we are talking about full stack development, then database will be the important part for us, because in that database only you can store the information. So we use models here to incorporate a database into a Django project. And how to create a model and how to create a database tables and these things I will tell you by writing the code. Okay. But before that, let me explain you what is models. So Django comes equipped with SQLite. So basically we have many types of database management system in the world. MySQL we have, and MongoDB database we have, and PostgreSQL we have. These are the popular database. And here in the Django, we are using the SQLite, that is SQL database Lite version. So this is the name of the database. SQLite will work for our simple examples, but Django can connect to a variety of SQL engine backends. Okay, we are using the SQLite for simple examples, for simple web applications. So name also suggested you the Lite version of the SQL. Okay, so SQL engine backends. Okay, and in the backend you can also incorporate many database system in the Django. अगर आप I mean MySQL if you want to add, and uh, PostgreSQL, MongoDB if you want to add in Django, you can also add. Okay, and after learning about the Django, if you want to add front-end framework like Next.js, React.js, you can add. So Django will work with every technology, with every language like JavaScript, HTML, these things you can use. Okay. So this is the framework which is made by the Python language, but it is working with all the languages on all the technologies. Okay. So in the settings.py file, you can edit that engine parameter used for database. Okay. So for database, we are using the parameter engine, and you will use for database. Okay, that in settings.py I will show you. Okay, to create an actual model we use a class structure inside of the relevant application models.py file. So before in the Python section, I already taught you about the class and what is object oriented programming. So the main reason of explaining you about the object oriented programming is here. You can understand for model, actually we are creating model using the class method, and the class method is like we are using the object oriented programming. So we are using the class structure inside of the relevant application, means in the Django application, for that creating model and models.py. So this class object will be a subclass of Django built-in class. So these class which we will create, these are the Django subclass of Django built-in class. Okay, smaller class Django db.models.models. So Django db.models.model, you can understand it is a big class, that is pre-built class. Okay, that is already built in Django. And now we will create any class in model. Then this is the child class and this is the small class. Okay. Oh, welcome Nehil. Welcome. After so many days, you are coming into the class. Okay, okay. Listen only. Then each attribute of the class represent a field. Okay, each attribute of the class represents some field which is just like a column. So that field we are using, that will generate a column in your backend of the Django. Okay, with constraint in SQL. So that is like in SQL, we have row and column. So that is like that. Okay, that. Field will represent a column in that database. This will all feel very natural if you have some SQL experience. I hope you all have, but beginner also can understand this. But in case you don't, let's quickly review the what a SQL database is like. If you not have any idea, let me tell you. Database is like a SQL is like a table in which we have some fields. Okay, so SQL operates like a giant table. You can understand a table with each column that is representing a field. Okay, field means column. Column means field. You can understand like that, and each row representing an entry. So one, two, these are the row and west field, west website ID. This is the one and two website ID that is primary key and that is unique. Website name and URL. These are two another fields to another column. And the website name is Google and Google URL you can see. And the website name is Facebook and Facebook URL you can see. So in each column has a type of field such as char field, integer field, date field. Okay. So in every column, you have the types of the field. You have the types of the column. Whether you are taking the date type for entering the date, whether you are taking the numerical type for entering someone's salary or price of the product, or whether you are adding some character for representing the name of any company, any employee, or any student like that. This way you can make any table. So each field can also have constraint. Constraint means a situation, a condition. So every column you have constraint. You have that condition. According to that, you can make every column. So for example, a char field should have a max length constraint because you can type any one name, any one characters uh, up to the max length of the constraint. Okay, that indicating the maximum number of characters allowed. Okay, and the last thing to note is table or models. Okay, relationships. So table is models, that is models in the language of Django, that is relationships in the language of table database. So often models will reference each other. Okay, so for this reference to work we use the concept of foreign key and primary key reference. And I think you before you learn about the SQL, you already know about these foreign keys and primary keys. So I can also tell you right now, okay, you are lucky guys. I am telling you again because these are the very basic things. So primary keys, primary keys is the key which is unique. Okay, so every time in every tables, this ID and this first key will be work like primary key. Foreign key, foreign key is the column which is inheriting, which is making the relation with other table. Okay, that is foreign key. So imagine we now have two models. One to store website information, another to store date information. So this is the website information, this is the date information. We could say that the website ID column is a primary key. You can understand these are the unique and the left table and foreign key in the right table. So here this is the foreign key because this is coming from this table. Okay, so here it is foreign key, but here it is primary key. Okay, so this way you can understand. A primary key is a unique identifier. I already told you it is unique for each row in a table. So you can identify the row which you want to identify with website ID. Okay, that one or two you can give. Foreign key just denote that the column coincides with a primary key of another table. So let's say this is the first table and this is second table. If any column of second table is combining with any column of the any column of the first table that is primary key, then it will be said kya foreign key. Okay. Later on, we will move on to discuss one to one or many to many relationships. So these are all the concepts related to database. And you are all guys now learning about the database in the full stack development. Okay, one to one, many to many. That should be enough for our understanding of models in Django. Now let's show an example of the models class that would go into the models.py file of your application. So how to write we models? So we write like this way. First we write class means topic, and it will take models.model. These are the field, and topic name is models.char field. This is the character type field, and maximum length is 264, and it will be unique, means it is primary. Then we will create web page models.model. So here category is models.foreign key, and name is models.char field. This is the name and this is the URL. Next is web page models.model. Topic is here foreign key, and topic is the foreign key. This is coming from the primary key of the first table. Models.char field. This is the character field. It will take the name, and URLs. It will take the URL, and here it will returning the name. This function. So this way you can make the model. These are the syntax, these are the codes, these are the code example how to create a models in Django. After we have set up the models, we can migrate the database. So after actually creating the models, what we need to do, the next step we need to do to migrate the database to the backend actually. Okay. So this basically lets Django do the heavy lifting of creating SQL databases that correspond to the models we created. Django can do this entire process with a simple command. The simple command is that python manage.py migrate. So you will create a models, you will write the some code for models, then that code you need to migrate. And how to migrate? By using the manage.py migrate. So migrate basically we need to give the uh, user experience to the models, then register the changes. So basically we have created that models, we have created the table, but you need to migrate that table into the database so that you can uh, add the user information from the front end, then register the change to your app. So here with some generic app one, so you can give the app one, you can give the first step that I already introduce you in the previous lecture. First step is our first application which we have created in the Django. Then Python manage.py is using the make migration app one. So you can also uh, add your app migrations so that your app also will consider that the table that models you have created. Then migrate the database one more time after creating that app part. You need to migrate again. Then this is the two-time migration process. So we can then later on use the cell from the manage.py file. Why we are using cell? To check the uh, information that are going to the database dynamically or not. In the command line editor, we are using the shell. Okay. In order to use the more convenient admin interface with the models, however, we need to register them to our application admin.py. Okay. So we need to register what? The models you have created, you need to register that. You need to give the authentication to the admin part. So this part we are doing in the admin.py file. Okay. And we are doing this syntax, we are writing this syntax for uh, giving the registration, giving the authentication to our application. So from django.contrib import admin of an app models import mod 1 and model 2, model 2, model 3, model 4, जो भी जितने भी model you have created, you need to add that. So in the in this session, I told you I will create three models and I will register that three models in admin.py. Then I will show you how to check all the thing in the front end website. Okay. Then with the models and database created, we can use Django's fantastic admin interface to interact with the database. That user, that front end part, that front end interface. Okay, this admin interface is one of the key features of Django, and this is required actually because after making any application, then you can manage all the things from the admin dashboard. Okay, so for that part we are using the models thing. So in order to fully use the database and the admin, we will need to create a super user. So basically, we need to create a super user for our web application, and for the super user, you need to use this command. We can do this with the following: python manage.py create super user, and after that, you need to give the username of the super user and password, email ID and password, and you need to confirm the password again. Okay. So once we have set up the models, I will show you how to run that and how to see the user. So it's always good idea to populate them with some test data. You need to enter some test data. You need to create that model. So we will use a library to help with this called Faker and create a script to do this. That population part, that populate thing, I will tell you later. Okay. So we discussed a lot already. Now it is the time to show the code part. Okay, so in this next lecture, not in this lecture only, I will mm, show you the code part. Okay, for understanding all the things. Now let's go to creating models part, and we covered a lot of concept. I already told you a concept about that, and we'll continue working with the two project folder from Django level 1. Let's start making some models. Okay. So now in this part, actually I already made that models, and I am showing the code only. Okay. So एक्चुअली मैं मॉडल्स भी राइट कर चुका हूँ, एडमिन्स भी राइट कर चुका हूँ, मैं आपको सिर्फ कोड दिखाऊंगा. सो लेट मी गो टू द आवर फर्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट, and in the first project I will show you the models.py. So basically here you can see in models.py, earlier we have only this one line from django.db import models. Now we have added three models. One is topic, this, okay, and next is this web page, and third one is access record. Okay, three tables we have created, and these three tables we are need to what we are need to uh, migrate. So मैंने migrate already कर दिया है. So I will also show you how to migrate. You need to write python manage.py migrate. So this will show you all the migration already done. Admin auth content types first tab, no migration to apply. Okay, so this part you can do. Okay, and now all the steps you already know, I already told. Now you need to check the admin.py. So here I already told you need to add these lines: access record, topic, web page, these three file, and this way you can register, you can give the authentication, all the things set. Okay, now it is the time to run the application, and I will show you how they are looking into the front end. So in this part only, first project, I need to run the application, and we can run the application using manage.server. Okay. Now run server. I have already run the server, and you can see this is our application. Very basic application. Now here in the URL you need to type dash slash admin. So this will open the admin. Okay. I already logged in. Now it is showing our table access record topics. These are already added. But let me log out. Okay. I already log out. Let me log in. So basically for creating this Django administration username or password, you need to create the super user. And for super user, you know what is the command? Python manage.py create super user. Then it will ask you about email and username. Then you need to give the email and username. And I already given the email and username. This is the username, champ space, and password is this. Okay, password is this. So I'm able to log in this admin dashboard, and in the admin dashboard you can see these authentication and authorization groups and users. These are inbuilt database tables that is already available, created by Django by default. And here in the user part you can see how many user we have. We have champ space Munish user with email ID this. Okay, first name last name we have not given. But we can edit this. Okay, by clicking on this you can give the first name and last name, and date of birth, and these all things you can give. So first name I want to give Munish Kushwa. Okay, now save. Now user successfully saved. Now let me see the people in the Loveleen, Rutuja, Shivani, Shubham, Sneha. Okay. So let me add one user here. So this is, I want to add Shivani. Okay. So basically, let's say in your company there are many employees and you want to add these employees from the backend. This way you can add. So I'm also adding here Shivani using the password this, and the password confirmation I need to give. Okay. Then save and add another. Save and continue editing. Save. Please correct the error. What the password is too similar. Too similar. Too similar. Okay. Let me give the different password. Okay, Shivani users created, and now we can see how many users we have. We have two users, Shivani and this. But first name and last name and email address I have not given. You can also give these, and we can delete the users. So I can show you one difference here. I am the super user, okay, and this Shivani is the simple user. So we can add it and delete that Shivani user, but that super user we cannot delete. Okay, so I can delete this user here from here, and let me go to the delete part and let me delete this. So I have deleted. So these are the basic thing about the Django backend part, and you can add the Django users into your table. Now, three table we have added. One is access records, another is topic, and another is web page. Okay. So let me talk about the access record. So in access record part, let me add one access record, and here I need to give the what social network. I added the social network, then this add the social network and URL, and let me give the www.google.com. Google.com. And here, what is the name of the website? That is Google. So this way, from the user experience, you can add one user. Okay. And access record, let me see how many users we have. So in the topic, we have social network user one. And here also you can add topics as many as you want. Okay. Let me want to add topic what? Full stack. Full stack. I want to add topic. So this is like adding some category related to product in your website. So this way you can add full stack, full stack, full stack, full stack, full stack. Okay. So I have added full stack, and the web page part you can also add Google, and you can also add web page, Amazon, Google, anything you can add Amazon. Okay. And URL of the Amazon, www.amazon.com. com. And here this is the social network. E-commerce है but social network कह देते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. So this way you can add the information into your database, and this way you can create the models by creating two files, that is models.py and admins.py. In admins.py you need to give the authentication and registration part, and this way you can add the things and you can run your application. And this is the very important part, and we have completed the models part. In the coming class, I will tell you about the next topic, that is how to populate the models and these things. Okay. So thank you guys for joining this session. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you not, so
Thank you, sir.
we will end the class. Okay, Shivani, कोई doubt हो
Sir,
बताओ.
please upload this video on YouTube.
ओके. लेटेस्ट सारी वीडियो मैं यूट्यूब पे अपलोड कर चुका हूँ, और यूट्यूब के लिए मैं आपको लिंक प्रोवाइड कर दूंगा. ये जो लेटेस्ट वीडियो है ना, वो मैं कल आपका अपलोड कर दूंगा, लेटेस्ट वीडियो. ओके.
Okay, thank you.
थैंक यू. थैंक यू.